Hello and welcome to another edition of Eye on Jamz Extra. I am Tim Board. Thank you very much for joining me today. Very honored to have Miss Sharon with me from the organization Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. Sharon, welcome to the program and thank you for being here today.
Hi, Tim. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
So, talk about Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. What is it?
Basically, the premise is we leverage the power of music, the unifying power of music, to bring people together to rock for a cause, to leverage that power to help people with ordinary people with extraordinary needs. And what we do is we provide a platform for the ladies to perform and leverage their voice that they've worked so hard for to give back and do good. So in a nutshell, basically we hold festivals once a year, and we raise awareness for a cause, and we raise money for an individual, or funds for the cause and funds for an individual. And so we've had, this will be our fourth inaugural festival, and we've also had a prom to remember. We are a 501c3 nonprofit as well, which I'm super excited about.
Well, congratulations, because I saw on social media you just got that designation this week. So,
Yes.
congratulations on getting that designation.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It doesn't happen overnight. And when you're a nonprofit and you're trying to build something, it doesn't always just fall into place. And actually what we're all about, and I mean, me as a person and all of that is rebuilding and, bouncing back. So I always encourage people to, never give up, and when you fall, get back up again. And, so it's perfect. It's taken a few years to get it going.
Besides the tax deduction benefit for those who donate to your organization, how important was it to get that designation?
I think it's very important to have it because it recognizes and validifies, is that the right word? Validates that we are certainly a nonprofit and that it's going to help us grow. Really, I really believe that it's going to open up new doors for us, because we don't want to just stay in Philly. We want to expand and bring this around the world, which we kind of are this year, but we'll get into that later.
You're jumping ahead on me, but that's okay.
Yeah, no, I'm trying not to.
So, how did you form this organization? How did it come about?
It's kind of a long story. I'm going to try to keep it brief.
You could tell the long story. That's okay.
All right. Well, imagine two things meeting at one time. My life has been there's been ups and downs, some tragedies, and I had always wanted to start a foundation that helped people. In the meantime, I was struggling to find my own voice against all odds, not my singing voice, but just my voice. And so my girlfriend came to me and she said, let's get some girls together and let's do a beef and beer. And I said, well, I've always actually wanted to do something, and I really would like to marry this idea. And then I was diagnosed with cancer. So it went back on the back burner for a while, and we recircled back. And during my treatment is when I brainstormed. I said, I'm gonna do this foundation. We're gonna call it Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. We are going to, I did the branding and all of that good stuff. And so, I mean, that was the genesis. So we had, I don't remember how many now. We had wonderful artists who came together. The girlfriend that came to me, her name was Dawn Marie Walter. And we had artists like Kelly Callan and, oh gosh, I'm going to start forgetting names. But we had so many volunteers and all of that good stuff. So that's kind of how it started. Like I said, I did the 501c3 paperwork, but it took a long time to get where we are now.
You mentioned you do events yearly to raise money for various causes.
Yes.
How do you choose which causes that you're going to support each year?
So I have like an earphone to the community. Okay. I keep my ears and eyes open. And I also have a great network around the world of people who talk to me and tell me about issues that they're facing or people are facing. So, we give credence to that. Plus, sometimes the ladies will say to me, this is very near and dear to my heart. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are affected by a lot of things. So that's the one component. And the other component is the same way. People come to me. Sometimes they'll reach out to me on Facebook. We do have a form that we've compiled together that people will be able to apply for help. But that's something we want to launch a little bit further down once we gain more momentum financially, so we can help more people. So that's basically how we've been able to identify the people. I will just tell you this: the first event, the woman that we ended up helping is a woman that my publicist told me about that had cancer. I came out of my second day of radiation, and I'd gotten this text message that this lady reached out to my publicist asking for help and guidance. And my publicist said, Sharon, I don't know how to help her. And I thought to myself, which is part of the reason why I got so impassioned about doing this at that time. I was on my own journey of cancer, um, fighting battles. And so our first event benefited Christine's Hope for Children and this girl, Christy Honia. And I have to tell you, we became friends. I never met her in person, but we talked and I tried to encourage her on her journey. And when we did the concert, there was a moment where we called her on FaceTime, Tim. And I held up, the iPad. I said, "Hi, Christy. How are you? Just want you to know we're all here rocking for you. And look who's here for you." And we showed her the whole crowd.
That had to be a powerful moment.
It was so powerful. It was so powerful. You're at a rock concert, Tim, and we shut down and we were quiet for a moment, and we all focused our attention on this person who was in such need, stage 4 breast cancer. So we were able to raise a good deal of money, and we sent it to her, and she was overjoyed. So there are many stories. There are many stories like this, to be honest. Very powerful.
How has the organization grown from when you started it to where it is today?
So that's a great question. So we started out in a place called McStew's in Levittown, Pennsylvania. It was a great venue. It still is a great venue. They were wonderful. They partnered with us, which is what we want. We want other businesses and people and organizations to partner with us. So they hosted the event for us. Beautiful stage. We did that for 2 years. And we also held a prom, which was a prom to remember, which is like a deviation from a rock concert, but it was super successful and so much fun. Everyone got dressed up. We had a king and a queen. And then we embarked on our first inaugural outdoor music festival. So that was amazing. That was out in Philly proper, Philadelphia. So that grew. We were also acknowledged for our work that we had done thus far by the Philadelphia City Council, Al Taubenberger, actually, councilman at large. And, in 2018, it was a great concert. We performed, my band and I performed with other artists, amazing artists, Shana Ryan, Afro Bear, so many great artists. I can't get them all right now, but it's all on our website, so you can go and you can look up everything and see. And there's been lots of paper and newspaper articles and things like that. So in 2018, I had to take a pause because I had suffered in an accident, a brain injury, and a broken wrist, and it was all mangled and all that. And so 2019 was a year of healing. 2020 was a year of healing, and then COVID hit, and but I was still stuck at home healing. And my friend came to me, and my partner, Darren Melchiori, and he just said to me, I know that you're upset about Ladies Who Rock for a Cause not having a concert. What would you do if you had help? You know, and my partner Rick Giannotti is amazing, but you know, two people is really not a lot to put on an enormous sort of event. Um, and I said, well, it's a lot of work. And he said, I'm in if you would, you know, like that. And I said yes. And so this is a rebirth to a degree. This is what we're all about. It's about getting knocked down, but getting back up again. I mean, that is what we're built on. And so we designed a new updated logo with phoenix wings, as you can see on my beautiful model here. And so now we are growing even more as we bring our very first virtual music festival. And the great thing about that is we're bringing artists from around the world instead of just the tri-state area. And so that is really a great improvement on the model. So, you know, so here we are, 2021.
Well, you mentioned the virtual concert, and it's going to be April the 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yes.
And I've got on the screen for those who are watching the list of musicians who will be performing at this year's event.
Yes.
How did you decide, or how did you pick the musicians that are performing? I mean, that's got to be tough to tell somebody no.
It is. So we have a team, and it's a talent acquisition team, and it's all classified. But everyone that wanted to participate was invited to apply. So they sent an email to info@ladieswhorockforcause.org, and they asked for information. We emailed them an application. They sent it back. We reviewed it, and it's very difficult because there's a lot of great talent. But the good news is this: you can't have everyone, but they can apply for the next festival. So it is very difficult, and I want to encourage anyone that ever applies for anything. It doesn't matter if it's this festival or another festival or a job or anything. No matter what it is, you keep getting back up on the horse and moving forward, you know. And I myself, I try to identify what it is I'm doing in life, in my career, in my music, in my relationships, whatever it is, to continually improve myself. So, you know, I just encourage people to just, you know, keep working at it and never giving up.
How much, I'm trying to phrase this right, but how much difficulty was it for you to go ahead and restart the festival again this year?
It wasn't difficult restarting. The difficulty, if you want to call it a difficulty, is the behind.
And difficulty is the wrong word. I'll admit it's the wrong word to use.
That's okay. Restarting is not the problem because I'm used to that. I'm used to that resilience. Okay. But holding a festival, getting sponsors, getting people to donate. We have items for our biddingforgood.com website. We need, you know, we have to get donations. There's a lot of graphics involved. There's talking to CEOs of companies and, you know, acquiring the sponsorship. And so there's so much more that goes into it, you know, than meets the eye, I guess.
You mentioned right before we went on, and I asked you not to tell the story because I didn't want you to have to repeat it twice, but you said before we went on that putting on a virtual festival was harder than an in-person one.
Yeah.
Explain that.
Okay. So when you have a live festival, the day of is hairy scary, right? Getting vendors to come, you know what I mean? All of that, I had to plan it out, organizing the artists, when they go on, when they go off, getting the volunteers together. All of these festivals have had hundreds of volunteers. But the money raising and the fundraising part was done pretty much that day. People bought tickets. They came to the festival. They purchased our merch at our merch table, and and then the vendors, they gave us their donation for their spot, and it was beautiful. The last festival, this virtual festival, even though I'm super excited about it, we are using technology in a way we have not had to use before. Streaming this out into the ether, getting all of the equipment and the technology and the programs and the cameras, learning the skill set to do that, it envelopes something that we haven't done before. And I think a lot of people are experiencing that. I mean, maybe not on this level. We've got hundreds of cameras and all kinds of, you can imagine. So we are trying to merge technology with talent, trying to get these two things to work together. And so far it's really working great, but it's a lot of coordination, a lot. So
it takes a lot for the artists or the musicians who are going to be performing to have somewhat of a technology skill level to be able to do all of that. It's more than just putting your phone or your iPad up and turning it on.
Well, so I'll speak to that. In our vetting process, we saw what they were doing. We made sure that they would be able to produce what we needed them to. These are all total pros. The women involved in this are total pros. And again, I mean, I know you've got, the indie artist thing, and there's lots of talent out there, and these people are bringing their A game. So yes, I agree with you. You don't know, but we did a very thorough vetting system that included, can you listen to the directions, and can you follow the technology? And so far so good. A few glitches here and there, but we try very hard to work with the artists to make them as successful as they can be, and to make us all successful together.
You have the
And
festival coming.
they're doing a great job too, by the way.
You have the festival coming up on the 18th of April.
Yes.
What's down the road for Ladies Who Rock for a Cause? What's coming up the rest of this year, and what's your goals 2 years, 5 years down the road?
Well, we have big dreams. And this is all built on a dream. So I really want a building. I want a merch store and a little music museum that honors men and women who've come before us musically and made a difference. So I really, really love this idea with a studio, and a cafe and a festival area. We actually have a building in mind so that, we can put on performances and things like that. And I have to say, we have a great sponsor, Personas has come on board. And I know that we put up the screenshot there of all the amazing artists. We also have some amazing special guests who are coming. Oh, there's the list. So I just want to read them out loud and just give them a moment. So there's the Sharon Lia Band, which is us. We have Stephanie Chin, Lisa Coppola, who sung backup for Billy Joel, Sandy Hall, who's absolutely amazing, like Anne Hart Hart tribute. We have Amber Hendricks and the Maintenance, Susie Corey, Joni Leeds, who just won a Grammy, Michelle Lee, and Leah Mehta, Lee Newton, Nitro Nitra, Anne-Marie Paserno, Melissa Ray, Catherine Shipley, Trey and Vicky, and Venture to Zen. And I'd like to I'm not going to do it now because I'd like to say a word about all of them, but be watching for our social media posts because we'll be sharing information about them.
Other plans down the road to take the festival on the road?
Yes. It's like you're reading my mind. So we like this virtual model because it allows us to have like Leah Mehta, who's from Malaysia, and Susie Corey, who's from Canada, join us. It's not that easy to get to Malaysia. So this is the beauty of the virtual festival. So we like this model. we're going to go with this too. But we really do want to get a large truck. I forget what they're called, but they open up and turn into a stage. And I would like, my dream is to go to different states and do a festival, because I know so many musicians I know that can, make it successful in different towns. So that's also a goal. Take it on the road.
Well, is there thoughts of maybe doing one virtual and then
Yeah.
taking one on the road and doing several shows in various cities throughout the country or the world?
Yes, that is the goal. That is the goal.
I have to ask about your band. Talk to us a little bit about your band.
Um, I've been a singer, songwriter, piano player since I was a young girl. I fought very hard for my voice. Back in 2013, I started a band. I didn't want to be a solo artist anymore, so I formed my band, and we did cover shows with mixed in with originals, my original music, because I'm a songwriter. So we started transitioning from cover music to all original, and we went from the smaller venues to the bigger venues. So we've hit Hard Rock Cafe. We were in the Firefly Music Festival. We played down in Dollywood, the Josie Music Awards. We've won several awards, actually. We've been nominated for awards as well. And we keep making music. So we put out Fairy Tales was first, and then Beyond Wonderland, which I'm really proud of, and it landed on the Grammy ballot. And then last year we put out The Sum of Us, and The Sum of Us, actually, I brought in artists from around the world who joined me on the song. We raised money for Ladies Who Rock. We donated from the proceeds of our song, my song, to the Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. It was great. We were on many billboards, lots of magazines, we were on TV and all that good stuff. So we've grown, and that's the beauty of never giving up and never letting doubt shadow your spirit. So that's it. We're working on a new song called Invisible, and that will probably release sometime after the festival.
You mentioned before we went on the air also that you will be having a Spotify playlist
Yes.
of the artists who will be performing at the festival on the 18th.
Yes. So Ladies Who Rock for a Cause Spotify playlist houses the past artists, and then we'll house the current artists. So it'll be an ever-growing playlist of all the ladies who rock.
And if people want to donate, the best place probably to go is to the website there.
Yes. Yes. Ladies Who Rock for a Cause with a 4. ladieswhorockforacause.org. We take donations there. You can sign up for our newsletter, get connected with us. We would love to connect with your viewers.
I want to thank you very much for taking time to be with me this evening to talk about Ladies Who Rock for a Cause. It's a wonderful organization. Wishing you much success with the festival on the 18th. We didn't mention, who are you raising money for on the festival?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. So we are raising awareness, Tim, for something called ataxia. It does afflict one of my board members and a dear friend. Her name is Kelly Tamburino. We want to raise awareness for this. It's a neurological disease. We're going to have a doctor who's going to do a short, appearance to educate us a little bit about what it is, what the signs are, what can be done. And so we're going to be supporting this cause, donating to them and raising awareness, and then to an individual in need.
Sounds good. Congratulations on this, on getting your nonprofit status.
Thank
and like
you.
I said, wishing you much success with the festival coming up.
Thank you. Everyone, tune in April 18th. We want to see you there. Buy a ticket. Everything's going to a cause. Buy merch at our virtual merch store, since we don't have a table. We can't wait to see everyone. And thank you, Tim, for inviting me on tonight.
You are welcome. You have a fantastic evening. Hold on for 1 second.